Hey guys, welcome back to Apps Every Day, and yes, I know you can see the light a little bit. Again, still fine-tuning to make this as an efficient setup as possible. But speaking of efficient and clean, we're on our Mac today. We're not on a phone or iPad or anything. We're checking out one of my favorite Mac utility apps of all time. It is Clean My Mac 10X, whatever you want to call it. So there are a ton of Mac apps out there that, clean up your Mac, basically get rid of any cache. It frees up your RAM, can help you find big files. And this isn't really any different, but I really like the user interface, the speed of it, and the reliability of what it finds and how fast it can actually help you clean up, especially things like uninstalling old software and things like that we'll all get into. Now, I will take this. Now, if you clicked on this video, then obviously you're looking for some sort of application like this. And so I want to take about 15 seconds and tell you if you have even taken a look at Mac Keeper, I highly suggest you look into it, because a couple years ago they got in a huge amount of trouble, major lawsuits, because they were doing some really shady stuff and ended up slowing down your Mac way more than it was. Now, I recently accused MacKeeper of this in a Twitter forum, and they said that they've actually completely changed ownership, management, and completely basically trying to dig themselves out of the hole. I haven't used it again, so be wary if you see a MacKeeper ad, but look into it for yourself, do your own research. Now, back to this. Clean My Mac X. Now, I got this through a setup, which if you don't already know what that is, I've spoken a lot about it on this channel. It is one of my favorite subscription services of all time. Basically, $10 a month gets you access to hundreds of apps. I'll basically bring it up real quick. Now, I should say Mac apps. This is a Mac only thing. But yeah, $10 a month, and you get access to all of these different apps on the left hand side here. A little laggy, but you can see it's about 200 or so apps, or 150, I forget exactly what the number is. They have everything from utilities to photo editors to screen recorders. I'm using Capto to record the screen, iStat menus, everything. So if you want to see a whole other in-depth video on that, let me know down in the comments. But here we go. Clean My Mac X. When you first bring it up, you have a very clean interface on the left-hand side. You can go to a specific, task essentially that you want to go for. But I always suggest every couple days or whenever you think about it, doing a smart scan. So I'm just going to hit here. This is basically cleaning up, again, those cache files, cleaning up RAM. It's going to look at malware, adware, anything that has been installed in the background that you may not really want. As well as speed. That actually is going to be more the speeding up the RAM and taking a look at any tasks that don't need to be running anymore or that are taking up a lot of CPU power. So I run this almost every day, so I don't have a lot to clean up. I don't have any adware threats, and only 3 tasks to run. So basically I can review these if I want to see what it's actually going to be doing before I actually run anything, just in case you accidentally don't want some tasks to be deleted. I'm going to hit run. It's going to tell me to quit Milano on my second screen here, and it's basically going to run those different services. And the nice thing I like when you're all done, notice that before I had to quit Milanote before running this, because it just wants all applications closed. After it finishes, it brought Milanote right back up. I know you can't see my second screen, but it's there. So it's nice that it kind of reopens and puts back your windows so that you don't have to. Now let's quickly jump through all these different things. You have a couple different sections. The first one here is cleanup. This is where you can take a look at system junk, which is stuff that you normally just going through your computer, because we all can just, go through your documents folder and be like, oh, I don't need this, I don't need this. But there are hundreds of thousands of computer backend files that are constantly being rearranged, removed. And this is looking for junk, maybe old versions of scripts and applications that don't really need to be there anymore. If you have huge mail attachments, you can check this out. Trash bins, I like this. This will, in the preferences, you can actually designate when you want it to notify you about your trash. So I believe if I go to trash readings menu, yeah. So notify if trash exceeds 2 gigs, you can set it to any other. 2 gigs is just fine for me. And emptying your trash through this is going to help you just save from general errors that can occur from just normal emptying your trash. Not a huge difference, but it can help. Again, under protection, a lot of this stuff is covered under the smart scan, but if you want to really just do an in-depth look at adware and malware, you can run this scan. Privacy, optimization again, and maintenance. This one you actually go through and select the tasks that you want to run. So repair disk permissions. If you've just transferred a ton of stuff or removed or added your hard drive, I won't get all into the nerdy of it, but can get kind of cross paths of ones and zeros. So running a repair disk permissions every once in a while, every couple months is a good thing to do. Now under applications, the uninstaller, I really love using this. And if you actually go into your applications folder in Finder and just like move to trash, delete something, a lot of times a small window for Clean My Mac will pop up and say, hey, open the uninstaller so we can fully uninstall this program. Sometimes you may be deleting the actual application, but again, remember before how I said there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of files on the back end. That app may have installed different folders in different places. And so what Clean My Mac is going to do is ask you if you just want to install the application or do you want to install everything that has to do with this application. Now, just to be 100% clear, that doesn't mean if you, for example, delete like Pages, that if you uninstall the application, it's going to delete all of your documents and everything. It just means anything that's associated with the Pages app. Same thing that has to do with Updater. You can see apps that have updates. So I can go in here and I can actually just select them all right here and actually just click update. And it's essentially going to go to whatever website or whatever update or application that these individual programs, and it will go through and actually update them for you. That's super awesome and convenient because we all hate updating apps. Now we're getting to my second most used feature of Clean My Macs besides the Smart Scan, and that is going to be the Space Lens. Really quickly, under this file, you can look at large and old files. These are files that are taking up a lot of space that you haven't touched in a long time, as well as Shredder. This is going to actually not only empty your bin or just delete something, but it's going to delete it in an incredibly secure manner. Again, not to get super nerdy, but when you just delete something from your trash, if someone really wanted to, they could actually go back and repair those ones and zeros and get that file. So if you're trying to delete something of ultra importance and high level security and you want it done properly, the Shredder is the way to go. Back to the Space Lens. Here I'm going to choose one of my drives. I'm going to choose my server since that's where I have everything stored. And you can see it's scanning incredibly fast. I literally have like 25 terabytes on my Drobo right here, and it's already halfway done. I've used plenty of other apps like Daisy Disk that I basically hit scan, walk away for sometimes 15 or 30 minutes, and this is doing it in like a minute or two. Crazy. But essentially what Space Lens does is it looks at everything on the drive that you chose and gives you this nice, pretty, like, pie chart essentially that says, hey, this folder's taking up the most stuff, and it just allows you to easily see what's taking up the most space on your computer, external hard drive, server, whatever it may be. So we can see almost 26 terabytes scanned in. Should be done any second now. All right, and we can see that it's all done here. And again, you can see the largest bubble here. I know I said pie chart earlier. I think I grabbed that because that's how Daisy Disk is set up. But essentially on the left, it's going to show you the largest files from top to bottom. And on the right is the same information, just in a different visual using large bubbles. So I can see that client work is my biggest folder, and I can click on it. And as you dig deeper into the folders, you can see what is taking up the most. So I can see Pro Fashion is a huge client. YouTube videos, I could go into here, and basically, if I didn't want something anymore, say I was all done with these files, You go here and I could hit remove and I would see that I would instantly save 300 gigs. Way faster than just going through the Finder and exploring all your different folders, hoping to stumble upon something that's really big. So between the Smart Scan and Space Lens, those are my two top features of Clean My Mac X. Let me know down in the comments, have you used this before or something else? Let me know what your experience was like. And yeah, if you want to pick up Clean My Mac, of course, you can go directly to the website, which will be linked down in the description below. But if you want in a better sort of deal, I highly recommend checking out Setup, which will be the second link in the description. And yeah, don't forget to come back tomorrow for another Apps Every Day.